how the affair's new diversity and landscape gave the show permission to blow up ideas in Season 4. When Sarah Treem first conceptualized the idea of Showtime's The Affair, she wanted to explore 4 characters from different 2 perspectives, with the audience serving as a third point of view that would essentially find a midpoint of truth. Fast forward to Sunday's 4th season premiere, and not only have the number of viewpoints more than doubled, but there's also a new LA landscape from which to tell an invigorated story. As is set out in the return episode, Helen, Moritz Ernie, and Noah, Dominic West, have moved following Vic's, Omar Medley, job offer, and they're butting heads more than ever. Meanwhile, a flash-forward scene with Noah and Cole, Josh Jackson, indicates that someone is missing and that there have been a string of intense events leading up to that moment. Ahead of the season premiere, Treem talks with Variety about how the production move rejuvenated the series creatively, whether diversity was a consideration in casting this season's new characters, how the perspectives inform one another this year, and why she feels a 5th season should ultimately be the show's last. Related TV news roundup: The Expanse to end on Syfy, and number 039 The Detour in number 039. Renewed on TBS and number 039 The Affair, and number 039, and number 039 in treatment and number 039. Creator Haggai Levi among speakers at Series Mania. How did having a bigger break between seasons help with crafting the new season? Personally, I felt that I needed a break, but that wasn't the reason we took a break. There were a lot of reasons we needed a longer lead time in this 4th season. Some of them were scheduling. There was this move to Los Angeles. And then there was some Showtime scheduling afterwards. They decided to hold the show and put it on the air later. This show has been wrapped and the cuts have been done for a while. But it was interesting because I'd never had an experience where I actually had so much time to write and edit the show. We had a lot of months leading up to shooting Season 4, many more months than I'm used to. And then we had a lot of months to cut it, because it wasn't going back on the air right away. It was nice. It was a pace of creative life that I could handle as opposed to the mad dash from beginning to end, which is how television usually feels. What does moving part of the story to LA do creatively to the season? It's a fresh start in a lot of ways for the characters. Some of them had gotten into ruts in their lives because this traumatic thing had happened, and sometimes with trauma it's hard to get out of it. You can't escape these thoughts and everything keeps coming back to the trauma. People don't usually move in television because it's hard to move a production, but people move in life a lot. So this thought of people taking a fresh start and moving somewhere else to get a different scene is common. Helen needed a fresh start. Things got dark for her character last season. She'd been born and raised in New York, and there was so much baggage for her, so the idea of starting over would appeal to the character. So for the show, the idea of starting over in a new location gave us permission to blow up some ideas and see what else is possible while not necessarily feeling like we had to service the same story. And what we found in the characters is that a lot of their baggage comes with them. That's a lot of what this season is about. Where you go, there you are. You can't really outrun yourself, you have to face it eventually. Logistically, how did shooting in New York and LA work? Part of the reason we needed more time to write was because we were shooting out of order. We shot everything in Montauk first. There's a lot in Montauk that happens at the end, so we had to basically have the whole thing broken and written before we started. So it was a challenge. One of the nice things about being on a 4th season of a show is that people know the show and we work well together, and the different departments can anticipate problems before they arrive. Even people like our script coordinator and our script supervisor, those jobs were huge this year just because we were shooting so much out of order. Those people had been with us for a long time so they could get ahead of stuff. There was no way we were going to be able to come back to Montauk because we had applied for the California tax credit, so we could only shoot a certain amount there. Rodrigo Garcia, who directed 2 of the earlier episodes, 402 and 404, also did the finale, and so he had to shoot some of the finale in the beginning, but he totally rolled with it. It was a big team effort. We really had to be on it, and we were at the end. We pulled it off. which I'm really impressed by. Was diversity a mandate in your fourth season casting of the new characters at Noah's School, Janelle Wilson, Sanaa Lathan, and Anton Christopher Meyer? It was a self-imposed mandate. Showtime has been great and they don't do mandates, but it was us as writers saying we would like to diversify the show a bit and not just make it about 4 white people. We were doing it in Noah's story. We were also trying to lean in across the board to basically show all the characters coming up against their own blind spots. But part of where your blind spots lay are in your biases and your feelings that your worldview is the only worldview, which felt in keeping with the show. It didn't feel like a stretch for the show to start looking at race relationships from a perspective and get them wrong.